Alright, what's up everybody? We're going to get started on this. The version of the game that we're using right now is Adam's version 1.6.1. And why I'm telling you that is because it's every time they update the game in a meaningful way, like 1.1 to 1.2, 1.2 to 1.3, and so on and so forth, invariably they invalidate all of your saved games. So when the most recent patch, this Adams patch, was one of the first ones. Maybe it was the 1. I think it was Adams. Anyway, one of the most recent big patches that happened right in the middle of a game that I was playing was one of the few that actually was implemented that didn't completely invalidate prior save games. So it's just something to keep in mind. As these updates roll out, I will do a video hopefully to explain, what they're changing and what that means to the gameplay, and maybe we'll get into a game to sort of see it real time. But just keep that in mind. So take a quick look for when the next patch is coming, and make sure that you're not in the middle of a very intense game 100 hours in or something, and you don't want to lose everything. So that said, let's get into the new game. And one thing that you can do is you can literally just grab I don't know, any of these races along here, like a Commonwealth of Man, and go on and use that race to sort of do your first game in. Unfortunately, I want to tell you that a lot of the decisions like Eve that you make early on, as you're starting the game and you're creating your race, are not going to have much impact on you. And unfortunately, that's not true in this game. Every decision that you make, for the most part, is going to have a drastic impact on your gameplay and how the game feels to you, how it unfolds in front of you. So just to walk you through this basic sort of the first option that they give you, there's two humanoid options here. One's dictatorial and one's democratic, and you can see it here. So let's just start with the top one. These are races that I've created on my own. But so I guess this first video, let's look at the two United Nations of Earth and the Commonwealth of Man, and we'll talk about what the choices are that they've made here and what that means. So there's obviously your choice of government that goes into it, and that's this little box here. Well, we can step through it. So you got your government here, you've got the race and the race's traits here. You've got some description of who they are. So, the United Nations of Earth as an example, the myriad human nations that constitute their interstellar government are disparate yet united in purpose. These bipedal mammalians have developed a society that encourages and even thrives on individual freedoms and cultural differences. As a result, humans tend to integrate well with alien populations. So that's an important thing to note. Despite this, they have strong martial traditions produced by millennia of intermittent warfare on their homeworld, and their sometimes aggressive and unpredictable nature should not be underestimated. All right, so this little comment here about humans tend to integrate well with alien populations. As you hover over these things, you will see what the effect is. So if I hover over xenophile, this means that they're xenophilic. The Latin word phile, P-H-I-L, it means to love, I believe, like philosophy, love of, I think it's knowledge. Anyway, xenophile, love of aliens, or fondness for what you don't understand or know. And that gives you, it increases the opinion for other species, so that as you encounter other species in your gameplay, they'll automatically take a more positive stance from you. Let me get this off the camera there. There we go. And it says cannot use full native interference policy and cannot use no refugees species policy. So there's the levels of complexity of the game are very involved. So they'll give you 3 points to pick these kinds of attributes. You'll have civics, just additional effects that your sort of choice of government provides or imbues. You've got your race, and you've got things like how habitable certain planets are, whether you're nomadic, do you migrate quickly or slowly, because there's always an alternative negative function. Are you wasteful? How it impacts your resources, all kinds of things. And then you get into like what type of world is considered home for you, and there are different categories, and we'll get into that. There are your initial choice of weapons, and there are three. It's kinetic weapons, missiles, and lasers. There are three different types of travel. There's like warp travel, which allows you to just fly directly from one system to the other, although it's rather slow. There's hyperlane travels, which specifically prevent you from going in certain directions. It's like there are roads set out between stars, and you can only travel on those roads. But it's a little bit faster than warp travel. And then there's wormhole travel, which requires that you build wormhole generators throughout your realm, and allows you to jump from a wormhole to anywhere, but enemies can come and destroy your wormhole, thereby isolating portions of your sphere of influence. And then you get into cosmetic things. So you get to pick what you look like. You get to pick the look of your ships, the look of your cities. These are all meaningless things, and they just do things for you. So yeah, so that's like a really quick look at what goes into each empire that you might build. And so I'll cut it here. I'll try to make these videos as short as I can, because the game has the potential to be very long in each. Like, no matter what you get into, it's going to take a long time. So that's the humanoid. There's two humans, and they're both wasteful apparently, which is kind of funny. So one uses warp travel, one uses wormhole travel and lasers. These folks they love aliens, and so they get increased trust, and their diplomacy is easier. These folks do not like other aliens, and as such, they get benefits and bonuses from having rivals, but their borders are expanded. So there's all kinds of things, and we can just click through each and every one of these, and there's a little emblem that you get to create and all of that. So this is the first look at it, and I'll end the video here, and then in the next video we'll create a new one and then start our game after we make those choices. So thanks for watching. Again, this is Stellaris, and I'm in 1.6.1. Yeah, so this should be fun. Thanks for doing this with me, and if you have any questions, or if there's anything in particular you want to learn about or don't know, I'm doing these because hopefully it'll help you. And if there's something that you specifically need help with, then let me know, so I can do just that. So thanks for watching. Check out the links in the below. If you really like the game but you don't own it, then click the link in the description below to buy it from Amazon. I believe is where the link will go, and that'll help me out a little bit, and you can get the game. So nobody's paying me. The only thing is I would get a kickback if you bought it through that link. That's it. So, like I said, I'm here to help, and I enjoy this game and science fiction and all of that, so hopefully we can do this together. And I will catch you in the next video.